Welcome back to Scott Family Homestead. I'm Christine, and today I'm just checking on the cows. We have a lot going on here. We dried off our family milk cow, so she's out here now. She's in her own pasture so that she doesn't get nursed on by any of the babies over here. Today I'm coming out to move her fence. She has a smaller area here, so we're gonna manipulate the shape and size of this quite a bit and give her some more grass. I'll show you our baby here. This is Maggie. She is doing so good. She's being raised by her mama. Over here we've got Rory. This is our milk cow's little one. She is going to be 1 at the end of July. She's a beautiful Jersey. Everybody out here is happy and healthy. Now, we have chosen to have temporary fencing out here purely because we haven't had the time or resources to put up permanent fencing. This is a very large field and we would like to have it all fenced in at some point, but right now it's not feasible for us, so we are just doing polywire, and we just continually change the shape of it and try to keep them moving enough that nothing is getting quite overgrown. Hi, Mama. Everybody out here is doing really well. So she is just about finished off this area, but as you can see right in front of her is this really great young tender grass. She's gonna love it. So I'll go ahead and turn the fence off. While I do this, we use the Premier One solar charger for both this field and for our pigs. We've had really good luck with it. They won't bother it if it's just off a little bit. I'm gonna go take all this far fencing and bring it really close, and then I can reroute her right over here. They're also reaching quite a bit to get to the water, so we're gonna go ahead and get them filled up on that. Got Ryan coming out with the tractor. We'll get that taken care of, and I will probably change the shape of this one over here as well. I'm surprised at how much they've eaten this down. We'll get them some fresh grass too. Immediately into the good stuff. Hi, Rory. A lot of my life lately is moving animals and moving fences. We're battling heavy rain and just tons and tons of moisture, and it's definitely making things difficult. I hate to complain about it because last year we had a drought, but it is becoming a lot of work with the animals to keep them on dry grass. The pigs are a bit of a mess right now. I'm going to go down there next. Just a bunch of management to deal with how saturated everything is right now. It's not all bad news though. Those of you who have keeping up with us know that my husband had a stroke and he was awaiting heart surgery. They had found a large hole in his heart. Turned out to be a very large hole in his heart. That hole allowed a clot to get through and go to his brain, so he experienced a stroke. He's in his mid-30s. It was a huge surprise for us. But this week he did finally get his heart surgery. While he is recovering for that, he has a 5 to 10 pound lifting limit. Thankfully they did it in the cath lab. They went and did a catheter surgery and they're able to patch up his heart that way, which is amazing. While he was awake for it. They did give him some mild anesthesia, but he was able to watch it on the screens and everything. and he went home the same day. It's just absolutely wild. He shouldn't have a higher risk of stroke now than the average person, so he is very happy with that. Just having to go through recovery now is kind of dragging, leaves a lot on my shoulders, but we are getting through it, and we're going to come out healthier and better on the other side of this. We get past all these characters, head down Wilder, head down towards the pigs, see what we can do down there. It is very hot and humid, so don't mind the heavy breathing. I'm down in the feed room now. I'm going to get some feed for the big pigs, and it just reminded me of another kind of wild thing that happened. We lost our electric to our barn and our garages the day before Ryan had his surgery. We had the electric company come out and an electrician come out. They determined that the wiring is too old and it needs to be upgraded. And so the electric company would not turn the electric back on to the barn or the garages, and now we are waiting on a part. So we've had to adjust to that. We had to rearrange some meat because we had freezers out in the garage. Our electric fence is not working because the fence charger is in the barn. It was just kind of chaos right around the time that Ryan had the surgery and was going out of commission. But we are dealing with it, and it's going to be okay. It's just one of those timing things. When it rains, it pours, I tell you. Oh, the water. The water, the water, the water. These guys are standing on gravel that we put in, and even that is underwater right now. This was wet last year, but not anything like this, and we thought we could keep these guys down here. So these two, they are our breeding pair. They are in a confined space. We don't move them around like we do the feeders, and their hut is very dry. I'm looking in there now, it looks great, and I can add a whole bunch of straw in there. The problem is their outdoor space is just underwater at the moment. We added a big load of gravel down here. They have pushed some of it against the fence. The rest of it has just straight up disappeared into the muck. This would be the perfect project to bring my husband in on, but there's not a whole lot he can do at the moment. We really need this to dry up. The best thing I can do is put down straw, and so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start bringing some straw down, try to get at least in front of their hut where we feed them, dried up a little bit so they have something sturdy to stand on, get some nice fluffy stuff in their hut since that seems to be dry, give them some bedding. They did have some, I think that they have pushed it up against the edges. But this is unreal. It's an unreal amount of water. We've gotten 2 inches of rain just in the last 24 or so hours. And the ground is already completely saturated from just weeks and weeks of rain. Doing the best that I can. They don't seem to really care. They are full of mud. But they need a dry space. They need their feet to be able to get dry. They need a place to be able to lay down. Right now they are using the hut, so it is okay. They're not in the worst possible position, but this is an issue. I know people will have tons of criticism about that, but this is where we're at. Had no plans for this to be this wet. We used it last year and it was fine. So in a position where we can't just put up a whole new enclosure and move them, because everything's wet, everything. Even the higher parts of our property are wet and saturated right now. So go check on the little ones. This is where they were previously. Obviously they can't be in here. This is a lake in areas. Just completely saturated. The grass is starting to recover a little bit, but last year we would move them out of one area. We had less pigs, but we would move them out of one area and move them a little further down, and the first one would recover and we would rotate them down and then we'd put them back in the beginning. And so far this year, everything is destroyed that they have been on so far. We do have some more room with grass to put them on, but everywhere they've been, even the places they haven't been, is just water. So let's go see how they're doing in their current location. This is an absolute mess. Yesterday it was not. I This is awful. This is bad. So now we have some decisions to make. It looks pretty dry in the back. I'm guessing that's where they're mostly hanging out, except I just came up here and they think I have food, so they're up by the feeder. This is kind of at the bottom of a hill, so I'm guessing the water is running down to about right where they're standing. They're getting on the grass now. Wet, but it's at least grass.
Wait, you made it that far? You're awesome.
Thank you, buddy.
I'll get that guy out of here.
It's alright.
You might come to your feet. Okay. Just a warning. I think they like me.
There you go. Doing a great job, babe.
I can't wait till you're back up in it.
Well, that's pretty good, babe. You made it from back over there where that pig is, all the way over here.
Hi.
Just like side scooting it.
Hey guys.
It's just wet under here though.
Yeah.
It's all water. At least they're on grass now. They've been through here before, but it's not bad, so they're back here now. It's just all wet. I mean, there's nowhere you can put them down here that isn't wet right now. Okay. I'm sure this will be saturated before you know it, but for now, we've got a dry place for their feet. And the sun is out. It's about our only hope right now to dry any of this up. I would really... Oh, I got something on my face. It's just poop. Oh no! I would really like to get a UTV so I don't have to do everything by a wagon. Dreaming. On the plus side, it's starting to rain.
That's good, right?
That's what we need. A very happy pig pile. Still pretty wet, but at least they're happy. Okay, it is the next day. I am finishing up my coffee in a relatively quiet house. Ryan felt like getting out today, and so he is supervising some strawberry picking. The boys wanted to go to the strawberry patch. We're lucky to have one just up the road. And so they're gonna go pick some strawberries for me. Maybe we'll get some canning started. But I'm gonna go out and check on those pigs. Let's see how they fared through the night. It did rain most of the night. Pretty steady rain, so that was disappointing. I was hoping that it would let up. I went to bed around midnight and it was still raining. So we're gonna go check on them, see how they're doing, see how much straw they need. And the irony of being completely underwater, I gotta go open the high tunnel and water my garden since it does not get the rain that everything else gets. I think the ground is saturated enough that it's not going to take very much, but that is my plan for this morning, and I'll take you along and let's go check on some things. I'm going to have to decide if I'm going to feed the pigs in their normal spot or if I'm going to feed them on the grassy area in the back. I'm going to grab a bag of feed here and take it down there. I just don't want to add any more wear to the really bad spot right by their feeder. One thing's for sure, I've gotten a heck of a lot stronger since Ryan's been out of commission. I can do these 50-pound bags pretty easily now. When we first started buying feed in bulk from the feed store, I could barely do it, so getting stronger every day at least, if nothing else. Got some hungry pigs. Just like that, all that straw is gone, with the exception of a little bit against the fence here. Let's get these guys fed first. So I opted to feed them in a tub down here where it's a little bit drier. Their hut still looks pretty good. They do have some puddles back here. But they are going to be okay, and it is so sunny and warm today, I'm hoping a lot of this dries up. The fence isn't on, so that's why they're getting away with pushing and shoving right now. If they end up needing more straw down by their feeder, I'll go ahead and take care of that, but I'm going to keep that empty for now. I'll probably fill it up tonight so that they're ready to go in the morning. But we'll have to see. Otherwise, we're going to feed them in this bucket like this until everything dries up. Keep them back here. The next couple days are supposed to be a little nicer today and tomorrow. More rain tomorrow night, but 2 sunny days in a row should do quite a bit for this ground. It's just nasty. But they've got options. Not totally dry, but they've got options. This was 3 bales of hay that I put down. And that's what's left of it today. So I think it did help. If you remember, it was just soup. More like this stuff up in here. So it did help a little bit overnight with all that rain. But something's got to give. I'm going to get this stuff off the fence because it'll help keep our charge going a little bit better and maybe dry up just a little bit around the edges. In the last 24 hours, I've lost a pair of sunglasses and my retractable knife that I open feed bags with, and it's probably somewhere in this stuff. So that's fun. Scratch that. Found it. Just missing the sunglasses. These guys also got a few bales of hay last night. Just old hay, and they are in a much better position. They seem quite high and dry here. The rest of their paddock is muck. But they're doing okay. I would say they're going to be all right the way that it is. And the sun is shining. The cows and the meat birds are doing great. So they're up high enough that it's not quite as saturated. The grass is very wet, but they don't mind that. And they do have low spots in their pasture, but they can avoid those for the most part. And so their grass is growing well, and they are very healthy and happy. The raised beds very much appreciate the water. Lost some of my brassicas to the heat. Starting to go to seed on me, but still lots of good stuff in here. Back here I've got my nasturtiums flowering. Love to plant those in the green stalks. The moisture really helped the carrots sprout, so that's a positive. Sometimes carrots have a hard time germinating because you really need to keep them moist, but with all this rain, didn't have to cover them or anything. I'm gonna go ahead and get everything in here watered before it gets too hot. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate all of the support. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram and at our blog, scottfamilyhomestead.com. We'll have so much more to come, and we're so happy that you're here. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye, guys.